across the world joining in. Nice, guys. Nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well. And I'm doing well as well. For some people who might have joined this for the first time, I'm Nilakanta Bhanu, the world's fastest human calculator, and I'm going to be teaching you a few very interesting things today, which I think will be super fun for us to learn. And before we start off, I want all of you to tell me what your favorite mobile games are, if you play any. I don't know if you play any mobile games, but if you do play any mobile games, also, what are your favorite games? I see a lot of people saying Roblox. I see a lot of people saying Temple Run, Geometry Dash, FIFA Mobile. Okay. Subway Surfers, Minecraft. Nice. Fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about how some of these games on phones work and what the math behind, the entire thing is. And how, phones detect touch, etc. Now, if when you're playing a game, right? When you're playing your game, you open a game and then you'd swipe through, scroll, touch, do a lot of other things, right? We'll try to understand how that works. Now, before we start out, I want you to quickly think about if you've ever played Subway Surfers, because that's probably where I'm going to start. Have you played Subway Surfer or Temple Run at any point of time? Anyone? If you have not, I'm going to start sharing my screen and I will, yeah, just give me a second. This is how the game looks, right? Do most of you know this? Yeah, great. Or it doesn't matter, right? I mean, if you like another set of games, Subway Surfer is very old because I used to play it a long time ago. So you might like other games as well, but most of you might have played this. Now, what happens inside your phone when you tap the app? When you open the app opens, right? The app opens. What happens after that? What happens after that? Once you start the game, what happens? Can anyone tell me what the objective of the game is? Once the game starts, the objective of the game is to go as far as possible and you will get coins. Am I right? Yeah? You get as far as possible. What do you do? What are the actions in the game? Do you guys know what the actions on the game are? You can jump. There is jump. There is move left, move right. Right? There is duck. Yeah? You have to avoid things and basically use all the four of these, right? Am I right? Or is there anything else? Is there anything else at all? Mostly these, right? I mean, you mostly use these. Now, when this happens inside your phone, this is happening inside your phone, how does it know exactly where you have touched? How does the phone know? Because you're playing a game. Let's say, assume that here's a phone, okay? I'm going to draw a phone. Here's your phone. Now, in this, your character is going this way, and you swiped this, and the character moves here. How does the phone know? Have you ever thought about it? Yeah, there is also double tap. You're right. There are a few things. How does it know? It's because phones have something called touch screen. Yeah. Some of you, most of you have in the chat section told me that phone has something called the touch screen where you can touch and it knows. But how does it know where you have touched? Why do you think the phone knows when you swipe left, tap on the top right corner, click pause, the different gestures? How does it know that? Double tap. In fact, not just this. If you're watching a phone and you're seeing an image, let's say you're seeing an image on your phone where there is your family, right? Where your family's photo is there. When you went to the mountain vacation or whatever, you can zoom it by pinching in, right? You can do this and it'll zoom. You can put both your fingers and do this. Am I right? See my screen here. This, right? This is zoom. It's called pinching. So you can pinch to zoom. Pinch out, back to zoom out. What else can you do? Long press for options. You can basically do everything else. Left, right, top, down. You can move it in the circle. You can do everything. How does your phone know the exact capability? How does your phone identify the location of your touch? Now, sure, you can do any of these, but if there is a photo here and there is a photo here, if I do the pinch here, will it zoom into this photo? No, right? If you pinch here, only it will flow. So it not only knows the gesture, it also knows where where you have done what you have done, right? That's what the phone knows. Some of you here in the chat section are telling me that's because the phone has a sensor which does it. But sure, but at the end of the day, in the last few sessions I've told, if you have attended a before masterclass, what I've told you is phone at the end of the day is an electronic device, and an electronic device only understands ones and zeros, right? So somehow your gestures and your actions and your pinches or your touch, all of these have to be translated into zeros and ones. Do you want to know how that works? Do you know how that works, anyone? No, right? We are going to learn a concept called coordinates today, which will help us understand this. I'm not sure. Have you heard of any of this? Have you heard of this before? Anyone? No, right? So we'll talk about it. To find out, we need to understand what happens behind the screen of a phone, right? Now, let's assume that you have the superpower of actually entering the phone and controlling it from the inside. Let us say you are inside the phone, okay? Let's say you're inside the phone. Now, this is a phone. Agreed? Most of you have seen phones like these. Yeah? Now, what are the positions on the phone? If I use the phone screen as a map is the phone screen, what are things which I can tell you? I can tell you that this is the top. I can tell you that this is the bottom. I can tell you that this is the right. I can tell you that this is the left. I can tell you that this is bottom left. I can tell you that this is the center. Am I right? I can tell that this is top right, and so on and so forth, right? Bottom right, top left, etc., etc. Right? Correct? Now, if I touch here, if you see, I've put a thing here. I've touched here. What should the phone know? How will the phone know where it is? It will know that it is somewhere between center and left and top. It is somewhere here. If I say center, top, left, somewhere in between, I'll know that it is here. But is there a way where the computer knows exactly where it is? Or the computer in this case is phone. How does it know? So for doing this, we need to divide the phone into sections, right? We need to know the way in which, we need to look at the sections, etc. Now, for that, I have divided this into three parts. Okay. Either the touch is in 1, or it's in 2, or it's in 3. In which zone is it? 3 zones I've created. Okay, by the way, what am I trying to do? I am trying to find how to communicate with the phone. Do you understand what I'm saying? Communicate with phone. For which I have to devise a mathematical system. I need to create a mathematical system for it to know where I'm touching. So I can create zones. In which zone is the touch in? So if the computer knows it's in zone 1, it's fine, right? But imagine when you're playing a game, there is a monster here, and you need to go from here. But if you touch here, it will take as zone 1 only, and you will lose. That doesn't work for you, right? Zone is still very, very big, right? It is very, very big. So zone might not work out for us. It still needs to be narrowed down further. But you know what? It is zone 1. You're right. How can we narrow this further? What can we do? What can we do, guys? We can make more zones. Can we make more zones? Does that work for you? Yeah. So I made more zones. Now, can you tell me where it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 zones. Which zone is this in now? It's in the third zone. But is this clear instruction? Because even this is in zone 3, even this is in zone 3, even this is in zone 3. So how do you make the phone know exactly that we are there? We need to specify the direction. What do we do? Instead of just doing this vertical lines, for this, we can make this. We can do zone 1, 2, 3, these many, and these many. Now, this is called a grid. Now, in this grid, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.